to come up and speak. Jeff came and joined us from the early onset because we needed somebody to help videotape all of this process. And so he's got a couple of interesting products that he wanted to sort of update you on, because he too is a true entrepreneur in what it is that he's doing. And there goes my slide. So we'll let him do that. And again, I apologize for the sound. I think we're good. Rebecca went and gave him that look. So hopefully we won't have any pounding.
It's a Gordon look.
Okay, the Gordon look, for at least the next few minutes. So if you could give Jeff your attention, that would be great.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
let's move that back
All right.
together. Back.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody, as Monty Python says, and now for something completely different. I presented here before, and I appreciate you all allowing me to come update you on things. It's not exactly pivots. My business just kind of wiggles and goes back and forth and everything. But a while back, I presented the showcase when it was bigger and clunkier and not so pretty, but it's a lot nicer now than it was. And we are in the process of getting rid of the metal box and doing a really cool case for this thing. It's kind of like the body of the sports car, and I'm in the process of getting the chassis made. So it will be way cool soon. And what I wanted to update you on is the showcase is something that people can do table presentations on. But more importantly, the software that runs on the showcase is kind of the heart of our business. And you know, in this case, I've got a touch screen. This traditionally you would call digital signage, where you've got TVs on walls and you're pushing pretty images to them, or all those screens in Times Square, somebody's pushing images to them remotely. I've been called off the wall before, and that's kind of what our products are. It's digital signage that's come off the wall to use at your event. Our software is unique in that instead of having to run natively on an application on the computer, it can run as a web link on your browser, on your all kinds of devices. The big thing I want to update you on, the showcase is cool, but this one takes cool to another level. You've probably seen glass before. You've probably not seen glass that can do this, because what we've got is interactive glass, where that basically what's going on here, there's a film that's applied to the back of this glass. And this is a little swatch of that film. And if you look really close and know what you're looking for, you can see the wires in this film. But the cool thing is you got to know what you're looking for. But this film attaches to the glass, the computer hooks to that, and then in this case there's a TV up against the backside so you can see what you're doing. But as soon as you turn this on, this gives you an interactive experience just like your phone or a tablet. And the cool thing about it, again, this is glass. It's nothing fancy. So this allows you to do stuff that you would normally not be able to do, because you can do interactive kiosk outside. Instead of just walking up and seeing you are here and what's due, you can actually click around and see what's going on. The smallest one is about that size. The biggest one's 105 inches. So you can do some crazy things with this technology. And I mentioned our software, Cloud Screen, and that's what allows me to do the kinds of things that I'm doing, because I can put a lot of stuff on the screen together. PowerPoint is a great thing, but you kind of go from slide to slide. I'm not stuck just going from slide to slide and having a video or clicking the link and hoping for the best. I can have a bunch of stuff on the screen at the same time, and if I can type, I can type. That was real profound, but you get the idea. I mean, the great thing about our software for presentations is I've got my website on part of the screen with all of its interactivity. I've got a slideshow, I got a YouTube playlist. I can have a whole bunch of stuff on the screen at the same time. So it really opens up some crazy possibilities of being able to do presentations and show whatever you want. So with ours, we can come in and allow people to present the data, present their, whatever they got, in a lot of different ways. And one cool thing about it, if you are doing events, we can do virtual event pages where instead of just having the event go on at your location, you can put that out all over the world and have people attend the event remotely. Volunteer remotely, donate remotely, anything pretty much you want to do remotely. Because you can embed all kinds of stuff in boxes on the screens, and it opens up a lot of possibilities. Now, being able to touch glass is really cool, but I had this thing. I'm kind of a what happens if I touch this button kind of guy, which could be bad in case of nuclear reactors, but it comes in handy in most other stuff. I had this thing set up at Secker Park in Columbia, and the mascot came by, and I said, touch that screen, I want to see if anything happens. And him with his little gloves started playing with the screen, and lo and behold, he's clicking, he's scrolling, he's doing everything. I was fascinated then, because I thought, if you can work this in cloth gloves, what happens if you have other kind of gloves? And lo and behold, it really doesn't care. If you've got gloves on, you can use it. So in manufacturing or medical environments or whatever, your stuff is protected from the environment. Just wash it down after you get done. I showed that to a friend recently, and he said, you know, that's really cool, but if you can use that hygiene film that they use in dentist office or medical applications over it at work, that is way cool. So I borrowed one of those from my buddy, the dentist, and her people got little fingers, so I couldn't put the whole glove on. So you can say you got the finger at 1 million cuts. But here I've got a protective film. I'm using medical gloves, and I'm able to interact with the screen. So to me, that's way cool. It must be early because y'all don't think that's way cool. The thing about it, I mean, now you've got a touch screen, which people have been using touch screens since we had smartphones, but now you can protect it from the environment that it's in. So the things that you guys can help me as a community, if you've got people that would like to do their events virtually, you got the room full of people, but you'd still like to solicit more volunteers and donations, I can set them up with a subscription to the software, turn them loose to do more of whatever they do. If you've got somebody with a facility that would like to have a display that you don't have to worry about it getting dirty, I can set them up with interactive glass. The Columbia Airport has this neat little kiosk that you can come up and look at how the solar panels they're doing are saving energy, but those little buttons at the bottom, you can't click. So we're going to put a film on the inside of it so you can walk up and click. Or if you know anybody that needs to do an event, showcase is something I can do. Or if you just want to do the on-the-wall digital signage kind of stuff, we can do that. Yes, sir.
All right, so all we need is an existing glass. So could we put a film on here and then be able to use this glass?
You could. It'll work on glass up to a 1/2 inch thick. If it's, you know, kind of like when I was in high school, they had the crisscross wires in there to reinforce it. Could work on that. But modern glass up to 1 inch, 1/2 inch thick. This is a 1/4 inch tempered glass. And it literally, you put the film on one day, soap and water, squeegee it flat and let it dry. Show up the next day, hook up the computer, the TV, hit the button, and then it's whatever you want to display. I mean, I still think it's really cool, and I know how it works, but that's just, it's neat to be able to do. It's not a lot of fancy stuff because it's, you know, stick this on, you know, let it dry, put the electronics on, and you've got a really cool system.
Is your business model selling a system or being the integrator, let's say I already have a screen and plan, you know, I'll put the overlay on there and make everything, which one do you prefer, does it matter?
It really doesn't matter, Chris. I mean, like the Columbia Airport system, a real neat, modern, brand new kiosk. It's got, you know, the screen, the computer, everything in it. It just There's a lot of kiosks that are around, you walk up to and you see something, but you can't navigate around. And from a shopping center standpoint, having a screen that you can come up on and navigate, figure out what the stores are at, and being able to advertise, let people advertise on that screen, you can get the equipment paid for really easily. Like we put one, let's see, where we at? We put one, if you want to see it for real, not just my carry around thing. And again, this box is just a way to carry a piece of glass around. It's not, hey, I'm going to build this ugly thing and show up and it's yours. That's on one of the main streets in Aiken, a real estate shop, that we just put the film on the inside. You put some nice graphic around the edges to hide the edges, and then your window is a touch screen. So it sounds cool. So yeah, if somebody just wanted that, fabulous. If they want the whole thing, that just means it's a bigger check.
How big can it be?
105 inches is the biggest one, so.
Diagonal.
Yeah. So that's basically almost 8 feet and 6 feet. That's ginormous. In fact, they're working with Disney World to put some down at Universal in Orlando, so.
Not two different companies.
Huh?
Universal and Disney World, two different companies.
Oh, okay. What he said.
No.
Yes, sir.
What is the interface between the glass and the electronics? How is
There's a little circuit board, there's some ribbon cables on there, a little circuit board that you hook up USB to your computer. I mean, I've got the computer right behind this, but the computer can be 10 feet away hooked to a USB. What's really cool, they also make a rear projection film, so the projector is up here out of the way, and then it's totally CSI space age, because you walk up to something and click and you can actually see through it a little bit. And that's cool. That one costs more, but it definitely takes cool to a new level. So that's my stove, sorry.
No problem. I think this would be really cool for food use. So if you want to protect your computer from the people who are doing food demos, but they're not going to want to pay a fortune. How much does this cost?
I just quote, when somebody's saying the whole system, I say roughly $100 per diagonal inch of the screen. For a lot of sites, like this is a 32-inch screen, so it'd be about $3 grand to get the button, and then you're doing your.
What if they have just
Like a 20-inch, that's gonna be like $2 grand for the film and the electronics. I mean, if they wanna show up with a TV from Wally World and their own computer, we can do that. It just kind of depends on what they want to do. But you're exactly right. I mean, think about being able to order. This could be a table. You could order your food. The kids can play games when they spill their food. Nobody freezes because you just wipe it off.
cool? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, in fact, some people could see this, I basically wrap something around the bottom of it so it's not as hideous. I put a skirt on her and then she can go to the party, so I've had it set up and stuff as a kiosk. We got that for rent. But the real beauty is we can sell somebody a subscription to the software where they can set stuff up and use on their devices. And then do all kinds of cool things, like take pictures at your event and they show up in a slideshow on the screen, or, now live video at your event isn't some fancy videographer over in the corner, it's just going through a Facebook business page, going live, and then I can embed those all day long in screens. So it opens, and we're redoing the software to incorporate a lot of other stuff, but for $600 a year, somebody can have that subscription on up to 5 different devices. So if they got 5 people doing stuff all the time, you can have 100 different layouts of whatever you want to show. The only thing you can embed is, really secure websites like a hospital website. I can't embed Facebook.com, but I can embed social feeds all day long. So there's not a lot of stuff you can't do. And I'm always trying to figure out one more, what can I do, kind of thing. Yes, sir.
You have one of your bathroom here at the house yet?
Not yet. What I'm wanting to do, Kevin, is is think about being able to do this on the vehicle window. And that's something we need to talk to, like FEMA rolls up, flips this up, and the whole side of the truck, you can click and do stuff. That'd be way cool. I told my wife next year when we can afford it, one of the vehicle windows is gonna turn into a screen. God, that'd be cool.
That'd be a cool application. Have that in your bathroom mirror, have your calendar up there, be able to hit play on Pandora, open up the morning get psyched playlist.
You could do that, and after you get done primping and she gets lipstick and mascara all over, you just clean it off and it's ready for another day.
That'd be a really cool application. Is the subscription, a requirement of this glass hardware?
Not if they just wanted to get it and then, hey, we're gonna run PowerPoint or just.
Right,
Something like that, they can do that. We do have a subscription model. If they wanted to cover the computer and the TV, I can roll that into a subscription instead of $600 a year for the software, $1,200 a year, and then at the end of 36 months, writing me a check, I'm gonna give them a new TV and a computer, so the stuff stays new forever.
Sure.
But they don't have to have it. If they just say, hey, that'd be cool, away we go. The only other thing I'll say about it, if it's a standalone system, I've got a kiosk software program that will lock down the screen that you want them to be at so they can't take it. You don't want Playboy.com or something like that to be if you were a donut shop freak. Maybe, would you like that, Rob?
Yeah, we'll leave that off.
Some of the customers might not, but the beauty of it is the keyboard that pops up doesn't have control alt delete, any of that. I want to go somewhere else. No back arrow, there's no nothing.
Sure.
So you can keep them on what you want to show.
That's awesome. This glass is a game changer.
It is way cool. It is way cool.
We usually close up every presentation with the one question, which is, besides customers, what is the one thing that the community can do to help you? Is there an introduction to a particular niche or a particular industry that maybe somebody here in the audience could help you take it to the next level?
I think architects need to know about this because this, to me, is just a cool thing to have in the lobby. Or if you know somebody that builds shopping centers instead of just having like printed things that you walk. I mean, a kiosk that's climate control weatherproof is out there and you can walk up and see what's in there. I mean, you can browse the stores from there. So that would be good. People that are doing events that would like to have really cool stuff to offer their customers.
So like the clubhouse.
We accept donations.
We can embed that on one of the screens. Yeah, pay for itself.
If you allow people to advertise on the screen, because that's what we do